Thank you for watching this video for Informatica Cloud Services. In this video, you will see a demo of one of the new cloud integration plugins now available as part of the Informatica Cloud Summer 10 release. This demo will be on the address validation plugin that will allow you to quickly and easily validate and cleanse your addresses from any data store that you can connect to with Informatica Cloud. Now to see the address validation plugin working, I'm going to grab data from my demo Salesforce org, and I'm going to grab some account records that I know have some address issues with them. So let's first take a look at the record for Informatica. So we see Informatica, I know it's in California, but here I've purposely put the state as CF. So there's a typo there. Let's also take a look at the typo record here. If we take a look at the billing address, we'll see that no postal code is there for this particular record. So we want to make sure that that gets fixed. And let's take a look at the record for American Greetings. And we'll see here that this particular record has no billing city. So we want to see if the address validation and cleansing piece will actually put the correct city in there. Okay, so now let's go to Informatica Cloud and use that address validation plugin. Now to get any of the plugins enabled, you would contact Informatica, at which point we would enable them inside of your org. Now once that's done, you would log in as you normally would. And if you go to the Configuration tab, you'll see a new section for Custom Functions. This is where we store our plugins. And you'll see a list of all the plugins that have been enabled for your org. Now here I'm going to look at the address validation plugin. The way that any of the plugins work are they have input fields. So this is where you would map to the input to this plugin. So here's where I would map my billing fields from the address object to the inputs, to the input address fields for the plugin. And then the result, which in this case would be the validated and cleansed address records, would be available to us, and we can map the outputs to wherever we want to write the data to. All right, so let's go ahead and use this plugin. And to do that, I go to the Data Services tab, and I'll use them inside of the Data Synchronization service. So I would simply click on the New button here, and we'll create a new Data Synchronization task. So again, this is going to be Account Address Validation. So I put that as the name, and then in step 2, here I'm again going to point to my local Salesforce org to grab those account records. Now again, the plugins can be used for anything that you can connect to with Informatica Cloud. So these are not necessarily Salesforce specific plugins, but in this demo case here I am going to connect to Salesforce and grab my data from the account object. Now I'm going to store the cleansed and validated addresses to a local file so that we can quickly see what happens to the data as it's going and moving through the plugin. So that'll be my target. And now I simply go to step 5, and this is where I'm going to map everything together. Now you'll see a new button here for Add Custom Function. This is where you would choose the plugin that you want to use. So I click that button and choose Address Validation. And you'll see a new drop down here for mapping selection. So source to custom function, this is where I map to the input of the custom function. And so this would act just like any other data synchronization task. You're simply going to map everything together as you would with any other task. So I'm going to map my address fields and the basic account data like name and ID. You'll also notice on the right-hand side here, again, you still have the ability to perform the different sorts of expressions and transformations, lookups to your data. So you can still leverage all the other functionality of data synchronization as well as the plugin capability. Okay, so again, it's a simple mapping exercise here. I grab the ID. Okay, now I go to change this drop down to custom function to target. This is where I'm going to get the return values out of the plugin, and that's where I can map it to wherever I'd like. And again, in this demo, I'm mapping it to a flat file so we can quickly look at that data. I do have some name matching here, so click on my auto match and map the other fields that don't match. Okay. If I wanted to, I can schedule this on an ongoing basis, but for this case here, I'm just simply going to save it and run it manually. And being that it's just a normal data synchronization task, up will pop up the activity monitor so we can see it processing as it's actually occurring in our monitor screen. And when it's done, it will show up in the activity log where we'll see how many rows that we've actually processed with this task. All right, so now that it's done processing, let's go ahead and take a look at the results. So we'll open up that flat file that I wrote the data to. And the way to read this, what you'll see is there's a couple of fields at the beginning that talk about the status and what exactly happened. Then you see the rest of the data that correspond to that account record. So the way to read the validation status, for records that were fine, we didn't need to do anything to them, we simply mark those as V for valid, and you'll see the result percentage or confidence code really set to 100%. And we just pass that through with the +4 on the postal code added to that. For the records that we actually did go off and do some cleansing, you'll see that those are set to C for cleanse. And the result percentage, again, is our confidence code on how clean we think we've made that, or how correct we think that record is. So here for the Informatica record, you see we switched the state from CF to CA. The Tycho record has the postal code populated, and the record here for American Greetings has Brookfield as the city. So I was able to figure out the missing city, the missing postal code, and it fixed my state value. Thank you for watching this demo of the Informatica Cloud Services. For more information about Informatica Cloud, please go to www.informaticacloud.com. Thank you.